podcast work done, and that's 1 week on the Daniel fast done. And so this is our recap video of the first week on the Daniel fast, kind of, sort of. We're about a day early, being Saturday instead of Sunday, but we've got church. We don't have time on Sunday to put out a video like this or to show you what our most exciting meal for the week's going to be. And honestly, it's really not been that bad. We'll check in with Bree later, but for me, there's been some minor inconveniences, and we can talk about those, but it's not been the worst thing. It's been fairly easy and fairly enjoyable, and I've really learned that there's a few things that I should add in the future that I'm currently doing on the Daniel fast. For instance, we all know that fruit is extremely good for us. It's full of nutrients, it's full of vitamins that we need. But if I'm honest, I don't always eat all the fruit that I should every day. And so on this, I've been eating an orange and one other kind of fruit, like an apple that you saw this morning. And I've realized that that's one of the best breakfasts that I can eat, because given my own devices, when I get home, I'm going to go after something savory, not after something sweet like fruit. And so if I want to get the nutrients that I need from fruit, from the food that God created for us, then the best way for me to do that is to start my day off with 2 types of fruit. And so I think I'm going to carry that forward after I finish out this Daniel fast. By the way, what did you guys think of the new apple core? After we broke the last one, I wanted to get something different, and this is completely different than how the last one was. If you haven't seen that video, then go back and watch it. But I snapped a regular apple slicer in half, and then I remembered that they make this kind for making pies and things like that, and we've wanted one anyways, so I went ahead and got on Amazon. And the best part is I found this used for $8, but it came brand new in the box. Works great, makes cutting apples easy, and if we ever get back to making apple pies, it's going to make Bree's life way easier. And like last week, really the 2 things that I miss are still cheese and coffee and tea. Other than that, I'm not really missing a lot of the bread stuff. I'm not really missing a lot of the other stuff, but that's because we're focusing on things that we like. We're making meals that we enjoy. We're not like fully forcing ourselves to suffer. Yes, we are removing certain foods that we would normally eat and that we really like, but we are also trying to find things that we enjoy that we are able to eat. Because I don't think this should be like a full punishment. It should just be removing things and changing up your normal in a way of sacrifice and honor to God. And so that's really what we've done. And we've found the things and focused on the things that we enjoy. But I would be lying if I didn't say there were things that I missed, like the cheese and like the coffee and the tea. The cheese, especially because we've made some chili options, or we've made some taco type things where it's beans and lettuce and stuff like that. And on both of those items, you really want some cheese on them. But it's not that bad, and it's only for 2 more weeks. So the people have heard my thoughts on the Daniel fast and how it's going so far, but where are you at?
I think I'm pretty much with you.
I had a really mean face on. I didn't realize it. It was just resting like, oh, it was angry. Go ahead. No, I'm leaving this in. This is gold.
Okay. Well.
We mad.
Oh, how cute.
Well, ADD. So what have you thought of the Daniel fast?
I'm with you. Cheese would be great, but I really miss hot drinks.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it's the time of year. It's gloomy outside. It's wet and cold. And it just would be nice to have that comforting hot drink right now. But other than that, like, I really enjoyed all the food.
This cat. Yeah, I think he thinks this is his YouTube channel.
I think it is.
Yeah. But you've enjoyed all the food.
Yes. All the food has been really good. We've tried some new recipes. And yes, it does take a little bit more work for me because, like, you have to think up, like, be a little creative.
And everything's from scratch.
Yeah. You have to be creative and everything's from scratch. So it does take time, like, mentally thinking, like, what you're going to have. And then also preparing everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel great.
I feel good. It's been enjoyable. And those little things that you're missing are a part of it being a sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you didn't miss things, then it's not a sacrifice.
Yeah.
This is just normal. Like a vegan couldn't really do the Daniel fast and be like, I'm doing something real, because they're not missing things.
Exactly.
And so to miss things is the point of a fast.
Yeah.
And so we're right where we need to be, I think. But it's not the awful struggle that everybody I've told about it makes it sound like.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I just couldn't ever do that. Well, the truth is we could all do it if we could only do it. Like if that was our only option, then you would do it to survive. But I get what people are saying, and I used to think that way about like meat and things like that and how difficult something like this would be. But then once you do it and you find the things you like, it's not that bad.
No.
So the other side of this is that life doesn't stop on the Daniel fast, right? And so what is it that you have to do tonight that we didn't even have to do last time we did the Daniel fast?
So my sister's birthday is today. So happy birthday if you're watching. We love you. But we're going to go out to eat for her birthday. So that means I get to go to a restaurant where I can have broccoli, a salad, and
A
that's
side
it.
salad.
Yeah, a side salad, no dressing, and that's it.
No dressing, no cheese, no croutons, like lettuce, tomato, maybe some cucumbers.
Yeah.
But, and the thing is, though, is like, that's another half a sacrifice. And you care about people. And so you want to be able to spend that time with them, even when you're on something like this. Because it's not fun to be like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I can't go because I'm on this. Like, no, I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy being with you because really doing stuff should be about the relationship and not the food.
Exactly.
And that's something that we struggle with a lot. Like when people are on diets, they want to make it like, well, the only reason I'm going to go with you is because I can eat things. It's like, well, that's not the reason to go with somebody for their birthday or even to any dinner.
Yeah.
You should go with it to experience time with them, even if it means you're not getting exactly what you want.
And it will be hard because I'm sure my family's going to eat some really delicious food, and it's going to be tough on me. But like you said, it's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I want to be there for my sister and celebrate her birthday. So I'm going.
Yeah. I'm just glad it's not me. I do need to take a minute to admit to my failure here. I didn't fail on eating, but I did fail on not recording what we ate. And so we tried a lot of new things this week and really good things, but I didn't take the time to record those. And I wanted to have clips in the video, and hopefully I'll be able to do that next week. But we tried things like whole wheat unleavened bread, which the first time I ate it was not good. And then the next time I ate it, it was better. And now I really like it. So I don't know how that really works out. But we've got the unleavened bread, which is very interesting. We've also had the chili, like I talked about earlier. And we had some patties that were like potatoes and beans and corn and carrots, and surprisingly good. But I will say they could have used a little ketchup. But what I'm not going to fail on is recording the special dinner that I'm going to make tonight. Sadly, Bree's not going to be a part of that. But our original plan was to have basically a Daniel Fast nacho party to the best of our ability. And so we're going to make our own chips. We bought corn tortillas that are as clean as they can be, just corn, water, salt. So we're going to cut those up, cover them in a little bit of olive oil, throw them in the oven, bake those, and make our own chips. We've done it in the past, and it turned out great. I'm also going to make some salsa, some guacamole, some black bean taco type stuff, and I'm also going to try to make some tacos out of chickpeas. So it's going to be interesting, and you're not going to want to miss that. So since you weren't going to be able to be a part of the full taco party, you had to get a little bit of it now?
Yeah. I mean, I can't miss out on our taco parties.
It looks good, though. We've never really done the corn tortillas for anything besides making some chips. So this is the first time we've actually ate with them on there.
Yeah.
But you've already had one, so what do you think?
Delicious.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's really good. I may have to start using these more often. product. We've got the chips with more to go in the oven and more currently in the oven. But chips, beans, the taco style garbanzo beans or chickpeas, fresh made salsa, guacamole, got a little bit of tomato maybe to go on top, even though we are having salsa and guac with tomatoes in it, and lettuce. I know I didn't show myself making all that. I've learned two things. I'm glad this isn't a cooking channel and that we only have to do this for another 2 weeks, because I like filming and I like cooking, but when you put filming and cooking together, it becomes a lot. And I don't know how those people that do food YouTube channels do it. So I didn't record everything, but all the recipes were super easy, and I've sampled a little bit of everything as we've gone, so I'm sure this is going to be great. And there is the finished plate of nachos. I think this might be the best meal that we have on the Daniel fast so far. First taste for good measure. That's wonderful. Highly recommend spending the time to do this if you're doing the Daniel fast. All right, buddy. So what do you think of the chips?
Good.
Are they good? Are they as good as what we buy at the store, or are they better?
Better.
Labory's home.
Yay!
So you've tried the nachos. You went straight for the nachos.
Yes.
So I think that means that things didn't go well for you at dinner.
The only thing that was there that I was able to eat was plain broccoli. So I got a side of plain broccoli. And yeah, I'm starved.
So how are these nachos on the Daniel fast?
Fantastic.
No, go ahead.
These are like, I'd say right up there at the top of my favorite nachos.
I was gonna say we eat a lot of nachos.
Yeah.
So I was wondering where those were gonna rank up on your opinion.
They're right up there. I think, like, really, I could tie them with normal nachos, honestly.
Yeah.
But then like barbecue nachos are just, up there because barbecue.
I get that. But take these nachos and put some cheese on them.
Oh yeah.
Then they're gonna get top and all. Still the barbecue ones, I get that. Those are great.
Yeah.
But you add a few non-Daniel fast to these nachos, and they would be some of the best that I've ever had, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, really. But I mean, we're very accustomed to black bean nachos and tacos and stuff.
Yeah.
So then adding all these extra, like the fire roasted, or I say fire roasted, the roasted salsa you did, and then your guacamole, which is really good.
And we haven't done the chickpeas before, and they actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the texture and that they're little balls. We'll do that again,
Yeah.
even when we're not on the Daniel fast. That's how, that's the fun thing about doing something like this, is finding things that you're gonna like that you wouldn't even have expected to like.
Yeah.
that
Finding those interesting items to add into your daily life.
Final question: whose salsa was better? Because you made the last salsa.
Right now, yours tastes way better, but I'm also very starved. So I'm gonna eat.
I almost forgot to put the cilantro, the salt, and the cumin in there. So it was almost very bad. I'm like, this just tastes like tomato sauce. Oh, that would do it. Well, I think that wraps up our first week's recap on the Daniel fast. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, it's been good so far. I really haven't struggled except for hot drinks.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing I'm really missing. But the food's been delicious. It's not really been that difficult besides going out to eat today.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it.
Yeah. That really tested me. And like, they were trying to tempt me, like, you sure you don't want to break your fast and have
That's just
some of
wrong.
this?
That's just mean.
I can't. I'm not even 7 days into this.
Exactly.
Like, no.
I really don't think it's going to be that difficult, but it is going to be nice to just be able to share fun meals and things like that through the rest of the recaps. And like, God's already been doing good things and working in our lives. And so I think that it's well worth, now we had a cat earlier. Now we have a kid. I think it's going to be worth the whole thing in the end. Anything you do for God is always worth it. We don't do anything in service to the Lord in vain. The Bible says that. And so we can trust that even in situations and things just like this. And I enjoy doing these kind of things, especially like dietary things, the Daniel fast. And so you can do it. It can be easy. And you don't have to go through the way of like doing vegan, pre-made meal things. You can make your own meals. It's not that hard. I'm a man and I did it myself today. So if I can do it, you can do it too.
I will say he is a great cook. So
it's a lot of work. and I don't enjoy it.
If you're willing to put the effort in, you can have some great food.
Exactly. But I think that's going to be all for us this week. Bree has so lovingly and kindly volunteered to clean up the kitchen for me, and I just couldn't be more appreciative.
Well, you don't really make too much of a mess, so it makes it easy on me.
Yeah. Some of us keep things in the pan when they cook. It's a weird concept. Until we see you again, God bless. Hope you have a great week, and we will see you with week 2's update on the Daniel fast. For instance, we all know that fruit, that's going in the cuts at the end. For instance, we all know that fruit is one of the best things for us. It's full of nutrition. It's got, wow.